Hello friends, happy Saturday and welcome to another Nostalgia Talk bonus. So first of all, if you're a Disney kid like me, then you probably heard that Disney has announced Toy Story 5. And I have just the shirt for it. Anyway, so yeah, that's really exciting. I wonder what the story's gonna be. Anyway, that's not what the video is about. Today I want to share something really cool with you, as you can see right here. I bought this a few weeks ago. It's a little booklet, a little rewind of the 2000s. I actually bought this close to the end of January, and I actually was going to make a video on it at the end of January, but the day after I bought it, I got really sick, so I decided to get some rest and not make videos, and then I had my trip to Montreal, so I was very busy, so I thought, you know what, I'll just wait till I come back and I'll do a video about this then. So yeah, now I'm a lot better. I'm back from Montreal. I'm still really busy, but I made time to show this to you. So why don't we have a look through it? I can already see on the cover some 2000s throwbacks. I think that's like an old computer right there. That's Harry Potter, Kill Bill. Oh, that says An Unconventional Truth. Oh yeah, I remember that film. And that's a poster for The Gap. So let's see what's in here. Oh wow, it starts with a nice little intro. The 2000s were characterized by a number of technological breakthroughs, significant economic downturn, and unsettling events. A Cuban dictator stepped down, terrorists attacked across the world, and the war in Iraq began. Natural disasters laid devastation in their wake around the world. The dot-com bubble burst and major corporations bankrupt. The canal was returned to Panama. Oil prices hit a record high. California elected a governor. I'll show you what that means in just a minute. And a hero landed a plane in the Hudson River. Now, the governor thing, that's a reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger, right there, who was the governor of California for a few years. And hero landed a plane in the Hudson River. I think that's Sully, the pilot. Could be wrong. And around here there's the swine flu epidemic, Hurricane Katrina, the Panama Canal. I've been to the Panama Canal before, actually. You basically spend a whole day on a boat learning about it. And that boat has like a lot of food and drinks, which is nice. That kind of passes the time by, makes it go by a little bit faster. Kmart, the World Trade Center destruction in 2001, and you can also, you know, your life in the 2000s. I actually was raised in the 2000s. Like, I was born in 1999, which is the tail end of the 90s, and then I kind of grew up in the 2000s and the 2010s. So technically, this is my life, but because I was in single digits, I wasn't really much aware of it. But let's see. Alright, so, I don't know how much of it I'm gonna show. Depends on what there is. But it starts with our leaders in the 2000s. Now, that would be American leaders. I'm Canadian, but this is still interesting to me. So, in 2000, President of the United States was Bill Clinton, and the Vice President was Al Gore. And after him, from 2001 to 2008, George W. Bush was president, and the vice president was Dick Cheney. And 2009, I actually do remember Barack Obama's inauguration. We were all called down to, I was in like the 4th grade, and we were all called down to my elementary school gym to watch him get inaugurated. And for those of you who don't know, although you probably do, his vice president is the American current president, Joe Biden. And it says, Men of the Decade, the founders of Google. And Canadian Prime Ministers of the 2000s. I can't pronounce this, I think it's French. Jean Chrétien from 2000 to 2003. Paul Martin from 2004 to 2005. and Stephen Harper from 2006 to 2009. He actually was Prime Minister a little bit longer than that, but that's just saying for the 2000s. So right here there's US life expectancy in the 2000s, unemployment rates, and population growth increasing. Okay, so I actually did have a little look through this when I bought it, and for every year in the 2000s, there's a little fun fact. So for the year 2000, fun fact, worth 1,000 words, millions of search inquiries for photos of Jennifer Lopez and the infamous green Versace dress she wore to the 2000 Grammy Awards leads to the creation of Google Images. Really? There's also a Subaru ad right here. Alright, the 2000s around the world. Oh wow, there's a lot of information here. In 2000, control of the Panama Canal, which joins the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, is handed over to Panama after 75 years of U.S. control. Okay. 2001, it says here, the September 11 attacks in the U.S. are greeted with condemnation from world leaders, other political and religious representatives, and the international media. Numerous memorials and services are held all over the world. The attacks deal a blow to the U.S. and foreign economies. A lot of these are actually in bold. I'm mostly reading the ones in bold. Those two, that one is in bold. 2002. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter arrives in Cuba for a 5-day visit with Fidel Castro, becoming the first president of the United States in or out of office to visit the island since Castro's 1959 revolution. Okay. Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, passes away. More than 1 million people line the streets for her funeral at Westminster Abbey. So there's a lot of stuff here about, like, attacks. I'll skip over it. Now, let's be positive. You know, this is a time, it's Saturday morning. Well, as I'm shooting this, it's actually not Saturday, but I'm posting it on Saturday morning. And this is the time to be positive and happy. We're looking back on the 2000s, the era that some of you probably grew up with. I grew up in that era. So this is the time to feel good about nostalgia. So we'll skip the negatives. 2001 fun fact. It's still leaning. After an 11-year, $27 million renovation, Italy's Leaning Tower of Pisa is stabilized and adjusted to a less leaning angle of 3.99 degrees. It was previously 5.5 degrees. And there's another ad here for something called Visor. Not, I think it's, yeah, Visor. Not the hats, like the visor hats. It says, available in 5 colors and with dozens of optimal custom cases to choose from, Visor is more than an electric organizer, it's an accessory to die for. How very continental. Visit us online for availability. Anybody know what these things are? And there's a Adobe Photoshop ad here, which you probably saw. 2002 fun fact. Gentlemen, start your search engines. There are about 3 million websites online in 2002. A decade later, there will be over 500 million. And here we are 2 decades later, and there probably is even more than that. Alright, 2000s around the nation. Now, some of these aren't negative. I'll have a look at a few of these. 2000. Time magazine names Albert Einstein Person of the Century. Y2K bug fails to happen. Video rental giant Blockbuster turns down the offer to buy a startup DVD mail rental service, Netflix, for $50 million. Martin Luther King Day, which just happened like a couple weeks ago. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is recognized in all 50 states for the first time since being declared in 1986. What else is there here? Still, there's stuff about, like, disasters. Oh, 2005. Here's a significant one. Hurricane Katrina strikes the Gulf Coast as a Category 5 tropical cyclone. Roughly 80% of New Orleans, Louisiana was flooded when levees were breached, stranding many in buildings and on rooftops. Over 1,800 perished. Also in that same year, launch of the shuttle Discovery is NASA's first scheduled flight mission after the 2003 Columbia disaster. What else? 2009, the H1N1 flu virus, also known as swine flu, becomes a pandemic throughout the country. And 2000's interesting fact. In 2002, Cartoon Network celebrates its 10th anniversary in 2002, The Price is Right celebrates its 30th anniversary, and Jeopardy airs its 4,000th episode. Cool. Oh, I remember these things. Oh, look at that, the old iPods. I think I might actually have one. I don't know if it works. I recently did get a Walkman for Christmas from my friend, and I've been buying cassettes. I have music on my iPhone, and I do listen to it, but the Walkman's pretty cool. I've got cassettes of the Backstreet Boys, Hanson, Bryan Adams, Simple Plan, Celine Dion, Phil Collins, All Time Low, Roy Orbison, the Eagles. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And especially how music technology has changed, because with cassettes, the only way you can skip a song is if you fast forward, and you don't know how far ahead you're fast forwarding. But still, super cool. So the iPod Remixed, the best just got better. With Apple's innovative new click wheel, shuffle songs at your fingertips, up to 12-hour battery life, and now 20 gigabytes for just $299, PC and Mac. 20 gigs for $299, wow. Okay, 2003 fun facts. LinkedIn, WordPress web content management software, or CMS, Skype, the video chat app, and the Apple Safari web browser were launched. The NFL Network launches in November, just in time for the playoffs. And the Super Bowl's happening tomorrow. I know this has nothing to do with Nostalgia Talk, but leave your comments below as to who you think is going to win, the Chiefs or the Eagles. I like both teams, actually. I don't know who to go for. Anyway. 2004 fun facts. After hosting his radio program for over 30 years, disc jockey Casey Kasem gives up the hosting duties of American Top 40 to Ryan Seacrest. They broadcast old Casey Kasem's American Top 40 here, and I really like listening to it. And also, for those of you who don't know, Casey Kasem was the original voice of Shaggy for Scooby-Doo. How can you beat Shaggy, man? It also says here, final episodes of the sitcoms Frasier and Friends air a week apart. Frasier is watched by 33 million, 52.5 million view the series finale of Friends. And it also has another ad here for the new $20 bill. Well, at the time new. This was 20 years ago. Alright. I thought I skipped a page. I did not. Okay. 2000's rocking. Oh, okay. So, music of the 2000s. Just after I was talking about what I listened to on my Walkman and on my phone. Alright, let's see. Now, I love a lot of these songs. I'm skimming through this right now. I really do like a lot of these songs. So, let's hear what there is. Bent by Matchbox 20. With Arms Wide Open by Creed, Kryptonite by Three Doors Down, Lady Marmalade by Christina Aguilera, Pink, Lil' Kim, and Maya, Walk On by U2, Outside by Stained, Hot in Here by Nelly, Get the Party Started by Pink, Standing Still by Jewel, Into Club by 50 Cent, Crazy in Love by Beyonce and Jay-Z, Hey Ya by Outkast, This Love by Maroon 5, Tipsy by Jaquan, Here Without You by Three Doors Down, another Three Doors Down song, Someday by Nickelback. Fellow Canadians, Nickelback. My Immortal by Evanescence. Holla Batgirl by Gwen Stefani. This is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Anyway. Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. Don't Funk With My Heart by the Black Eyed Peas. Hips Don't Lie by Shakira featuring, I hope I'm saying this right, but the guy from the Fugees. Wyclef Jean, Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, Moneymaker by Ludacris and Pharrell Williams, Umbrella by Rihanna and Jay-Z. Ooh, just going back to the Super Bowl, Rihanna is playing halftime at the Super Bowl. I wonder what kind of classic throwbacks she'll be performing for us. Anyway, Makes Me Wonder by Maroon 5, Smack That by Akon and Eminem, Low, Flo Rida and T-Pain, Lollipop, Lil Wayne and Static Major, Love in This Club by Usher and Young Jeezy, Viva La Vida by Coldplay, I Kissed a Girl, Katy Perry, Poker Face by Lady Gaga, Single Ladies, Put a Ring on It by Beyonce, Use Somebody, Kings of Leon, You Found Me by The Fray, and I Know You Want Me by Pitbull. Now, I actually do remember a lot of these songs. At school dances, like they would play stuff like Umbrella, and I remember I Kissed a Girl at a school dance. There's no Simple Plan, Backstreet Boys, Jonas Brothers, All Time Low on here. I guess you could say that I'm, in the words of All Time Low, lost in stereo. Country Rolling. Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. Love that song. That's a very, very, very nice song. Chicken Fried by Zac Brown Band. I did not know that was by the Zac Brown Band all these years. Like, my family listens to country regularly. I like to listen to country, but it depends on the kind. But I remember that song. Anyway, There Goes My Life by Kenny Chesney. Good Directions by Billy Currington. It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere by Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett. Austin by Blake Shelton. Save a Horse and Ride a Cowboy by Big and Rich. Stay by Sugarland. Bless the Broken Road by the Rascal Flatts. Yeah, we love the Rascal Flatts in our house. Need You Now by Lady A. Whiskey Lullaby by Brad Paisley and Alison Krauss. And we also really like Brad Paisley. Believe by Brooks and Dunn. I was a huge Brooks and Dunn fan when I was younger. I still like them. I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson. Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood. Picture by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning by Alan Jackson. Okay, now that, just going back to something I brought up earlier as I was reading this, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning was an Alan Jackson song about 9/11. And, like that, I talked to friends about this. Like, I asked some of my friends, where were you when that happened? Because my friends and family members, they all say, I remember exactly where I was when it happened. I don't. I was 2, but my mom remembers I was probably like playing with toys or reading a book or something. Anyway, moving on from that. Honky Tonk Badonka-Donk by Trace Adkins. Getting You Home by Chris Young. Give It Away by George Strait. 3 Wooden Crosses by Randy Travis. Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue by Toby Keith. Yeah, I remember a lot of these. So this right here is one-hit wonders of the 2000s. Heaven by Los Lonely Boys. The Boys of Summer by the Ataris. That's a Don Henley song, actually. Don Henley from the Eagles. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got the top rolled down and you're smiling at everyone. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. This version's more like a pop-punk version. Think if Simple Plan, All Time Low, Green Day, Blink-182, or The Offspring was doing the Boys of Summer. Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne. Bulletproof by LaRue. I hope I said that one right. Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. Collide by Howie Day. Yep, I remember that one. You're Beautiful by James Blunt. I'm a big, big James Blunt fan, not just because we have the same first name, but I am a very big James Blunt fan. He's also got a lot of other good songs. I will call you up every Saturday night, and we'd both stay out till the morning light, and we sing, here we go again. Butterfly by Crazy Town. Hit 'Em Up Style by Blue Cantrell. The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. Wherever You Will Go by The Calling. Just the Girl by the Click 5. I've sung it before in another video. You guys want to hear me do it again? I won't. I won't waste time by doing that. Flavor of the Week, American Hi-Fi. I Wish by Carl Thomas. Yeah, this one. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Which is Baha Men. 1985 by Bowling for Soup. Believe it or not, that is an actual band name, Bowling for Soup. And Girl Next Door by Saving Jane. So, those are some of the big hits of the 2000s. What about Dear Maria, Count Me In by All Time Low, or Shape of My Heart by the Backstreet Boys, or Welcome to My Life by Simple Plan? Give Me Just One Night by 98 Degrees. Oh well, no, those are the hits I remember. The 2000s musical fun facts. In 2000, Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP sells 1.76 million copies in the first week of release, making it the fastest-selling solo album ever. Due to massive success and popularity of Eminem's Stan, the Oxford Dictionary made a definition of Stan, an obsessive fan of a particular celebrity. What I like about that song, Stan, I'm not really a huge Eminem fan, but what I like about that song is that it features a singer named Dido, who does that song, I'd like to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. Anyway, in 2001, the digital music revolution goes into overdrive with the release of Apple's iTunes Music Store in January. The iPod debuts later in October. XM satellite radio debuts. 2002, a late night tribute. On October 30th, 2002, musician Warren Zevon is featured on The Late Show with David Letterman as the only guest for an entire hour, performing several songs and speaking about being diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer. Oh, that's sad. Asked about life and death, Zevon told Dave's audience to enjoy every sandwich. He would pass away the following September. 2003, Johnny Cash's music video for Hurt, a cover of a Nine Inch Nails song, would be one of his last and is considered one of his greatest music videos of all time. Good old Johnny Cash. I was actually listening to Johnny Cash this morning on my walk. In 2006, February, Speed of Sound by Coldplay was the billionth song downloaded on iTunes. 2016, a billion in 5 years? Wow! Huh. 2007, Breathe In, Breathe Out, the third single from Matt Kearney's second album, Nothing Left to Lose, was featured on the season 4 premiere of the TV series Grey's Anatomy. The song was written and recorded after the album's release. When the album was re-released, the song was added. 2008, Michael Jackson re-released Thriller in honor of the iconic album's 25th anniversary. The album included new bonus remixes that featured Kanye West, Fergie, and will.i.am. In 2009, during Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video at the MTV Video Music Awards, Kanye West walks on stage and interrupts her, saying that Beyoncé had one of the greatest videos of all time. Okay, I have to be honest, he had absolutely no reason to do that. Canadian pop and R&B singer Justin Bieber becomes the first artist ever to have 7 songs from a debut album chart on the Billboard Hot 100. I remember the introduction of Justin Bieber. Alright. 2005, fun fact. In July, 10 simultaneous Live Aid benefit concerts organized by Bob Geldof, who founded the first Live Aid concerts 20 years earlier, were held to raise money for the fight against poverty around the world. And there's a Calvin Klein poster right here. It says, it's basically talking about the fashion of the 2000s. Technology influenced styles over the decade. Metallic-looking accents added to older styles were commonplace. Itty-bitty baby tees, juicy couture velour tracksuits, pleated denim miniskirts, Von Dutch trucker hats, hoop earrings, halter necks, suede boots, hip-hugging capri pants, I remember those, embroidered low-rise jeans, Uggs, checkered Vans, and graphic tees all found their place in the early to mid-2000s. In the mid to late 2000s, the fashion-conscious wore baby doll dresses, low-rise boots, oversized sunglasses. I actually really did like wearing oversized sunglasses when I was like 10. I thought it made me look cool. Be yourself to be cool. That's the best advice I can give. Don't try to do like everybody else does, just be you. Anyway, In addition to that, Ed Hardy graphic tees, cargo shorts, black leggings, gladiator sandals, Sperry top ciders, shaved bald hairstyles and beards for men, acid wash jeans, skinny jeans tucked into boots, boots with shorts, and white lights. A pretty eclectic era of clothing. Yeah, I remember all these styles. And there's the Gap poster that's right at the front of the booklet. I love how very, very nice and colorful it looks. 2006 fun facts. Twitter, the online social networking platform, was launched to the public in July. Google purchased YouTube for $1.65 billion. And 30 Rock premieres in October. The NBC sitcom was created by stars Tina Fey with Alec Baldwin and an ensemble cast. Oh my god, wow, that's a lot of info. Okay, I might not be able to get to reading all of this, but it's a decade of sports champions. I'll go through here and see the ones that I remember. MLB World Series. Oh, Super Bowl. Okay, I think that's what I'll start with the Super Bowl being tomorrow. So, in order of who won the Super Bowl each year from 2000 to 2009, St. Louis Rams, Baltimore Ravens, New England Patriots. Was Tom Brady playing with them at the time? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Before Brady was playing with them. New England Patriots again, Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts, the New York Giants, and again the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. The Grey Cup, which is Canadian Football League, the CFL. Again in order. BC Lions, Calgary, Montreal, Edmonton, Toronto, Edmonton, BC, Saskatchewan, Calgary, and Montreal. MLB World Series, Yankees, New York Yankees, Arizona Diamondbacks, LA Angels of Anaheim, the Miami Marlins, Boston Red Sox, my dad's favorite team, the Chicago White Sox, St. Louis Cardinals, Boston Red Sox again, Philadelphia Phillies, and the New York Yankees. When I was 14, my family, in 2013, my family went to Fenway Park in Boston for a Red Sox game against the Yankees, and it was at the time that A-Rod was playing with them, with the Yankees, and he was at that time under fire for taking steroids, and they were still allowing him to play. A lot of athletes were doing it at the time. He comes on, everyone yells, "You use steroids!" You know, like, "Let's go Red Sox!" But instead, "You use steroids!" And you can find this on YouTube. I found it a while ago on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there, but you can find video of this on YouTube. Anyway, Stanley Cup, NHL, hockey, my favorite sport. So again, in order, New Jersey Devils, Colorado Avalanche, who just won this past year actually with team captain Nathan MacKinnon, a fellow Nova Scotian. Anyway, Colorado Avalanche, Detroit Red Wings, New Jersey Devils again, Tampa Bay Lightning, Montreal Canadiens, Carolina wait, what? I thought there was no season then. Oh, okay. I think I see what they're doing. The 2004-2005 hockey season, there was a lockout, and the entire season never was played. And actually, I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto and saw the actual Stanley Cup. And there's actually a thing there that has all of the champions, and right for 2005 and 2000, for the 2004-2005 season, it says season not played. But the Canadiens is the NHL team with the most championships, so that's probably why it's there. But anyway, once the NHL season started, the next season, the Carolina Hurricanes, Anaheim Ducks, the Detroit Red Wings again, and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that was actually their first ever win with another Nova Scotian, Sidney Crosby, who, believe it or not, my mom helped teach Sidney Crosby how to skate. It's funny, nobody believes me when I tell them that, but it's true. There's a lot more here, like NASCAR, Indy 500, Boston Marathon, Kentucky Derby. I'll skip it. Alright, 2007, fun facts. Apple co-founder Steve Jobs expressed his belief that traditional PDAs were not good choices for Apple, despite receiving many requests for Apple to create another PDA. The world's most efficient electric car, the Tesla Roadster, is shown at car shows prior to full production in 2008. There's ads here that are both very, very similar. So what I'll do is I'm going to read the 2008 fun facts first, and then I'll show you the ads. Breaking Bad, starring Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, premieres on AMC. Toshiba announces its formal recall on its HD DVD video format, ending the format war between it and Sony's Blu-ray disc. Seth MacFarlane reaches an agreement worth $100 million with Fox to keep Family Guy and American Dad on television until 2012, making him the world's highest-paid television writer. And one of the funniest, I may add. So the ads are very similar. One is for Verizon mobile phones, and the other is for Samsung phones. Now, 2007, 2008, I was 8 and 9, and my dad had a BlackBerry, and if I was out and about with my dad and I wanted to invite friends, I'd have to use his BlackBerry, and believe me, that did happen a few times. Now I have my own iPhone. Alright. Okay, here's my cup of tea. Movies of the 2000s. So, here we've got Oscar winners. So, 2000, Best Actor, Russell Crowe for Gladiator. 2001, Best Picture, A Beautiful Mind. 2002, Catherine Zeta-Jones won Best Supporting Actress for Chicago. In 2003, Charlize Theron. Again, I hope I said that right. Anyway, she won Best Actress for Monster. 2004, Clint Eastwood won Best Director for $1 Million Baby. Best Supporting Actor in 2005 went to George Clooney for Syriana. 2006, The Departed won Best Picture. Joel and Ethan Coen won Best Director in 2007 for No Country for Old Men. 2008, Sean Penn won Best Actor for Milk. He was really good in that movie, actually. Milk is a great film. A couple of friends of mine did a project on it when we were in college. And in 2009, Sandra Bullock won Best Actress for The Blind Side. And there's a list of movies here from the 2000s. I don't remember some of these. Almost Famous, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Best in Show, Castaway, Meet the Parents, Shrek. I just saw Puss in Boots last night, the new Puss in Boots movie. It had a lot of references to Shrek. Anyway, A Beautiful Mind, Ocean's 11, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, 4 of the Harry Potter movies, The Fast and the Furious, Legally Blonde, Ice Age, actually the first 3 Ice Ages, Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, Catch Me If You Can, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Finding Nemo, The Last Samurai, Lost in Translation, the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Passion of the Christ, Napoleon Dynamite, The Bourne Supremacy, National Treasure. I think National Treasure 2 came out in the 2000s as well. I do remember when it came out. Crash, Walk the Line, going back to Johnny Cash. That's a Johnny Cash biopic. And it was really, really good. Cars, Night at the Museum, The Da Vinci Code, Casino Royale, The Devil Wears Prada, 300, Transformers, the Michael Bay Transformers, There Will Be No Blood, No Country for Old Men, Juno, The Dark Knight, Iron Man, Slumdog Millionaire, Gran Torino, Up, Avatar. Did anybody see Avatar 2 yet? I haven't, but was it any good? I'm told it's really good. And Avatar is actually the most successful movie of all time. You know, the most successful movie of all time came out in the 2000s. The Hangover, The Blind Side, and The Hurt Locker. I'm coming toward the end of the booklet now, and you guys are probably like, oh, thank God he's nearly done, because this is boring as Alright, favorite 2000s TV shows. Now, there's a list here of top TV stars, and when I saw these, I was like, okay, yeah, I know exactly what show they were on. So there's Hugh Laurie, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Hugh Laurie, the Friends cast, the Will and Grace cast, the Sopranos cast, the cast of Everybody Loves Raymond. Oh, wow, yeah, I remember these guys. Simon Cowell, Randy Jackson, Paula Abdul, and Ryan Seacrest from American Idol. Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa, the cast of Frasier. Drew Carey, Felicity Huffman, Terry Hatcher. The cast of The Big Bang Theory, the cast of 2.5 Men. Anyway, I'm gonna not read the list of actors and read the list of shows. Popular shows in the year 2000: Friends, Will and Grace, and The Sopranos. 2001, Survivor, CSI, Everybody Loves Raymond. 2002, American Idol, Live with Regis and Kelly, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. 2003, The Apprentice, Survivor, and CSI Miami. 2004, Frasier. I do love Frasier. Sex and the City and The Drew Carey Show. 2005, Desperate Housewives, 24, and House. 2006, Grey's Anatomy, Without a Trace, and Deal or No Deal. 2007, Lost, Heroes, Burn Notice, and NCIS. 2008, The Mentalist, Criminal Minds, and Manly Men. That would be 2.5 Men. In 2009, Mad Men, The Big Bang Theory, and Breaking Bad. Fun TV facts for the year 2009. Modern Family premiered its first season on ABC. I've watched every episode of Modern Family. It is such a funny show, and the dynamic between all those family members is so funny. Guiding Light, the longest-running scripted program in broadcast history, announced it was airing its final episode on September 18th. The soap opera had been on radio and television for 72 years, beginning on NBC Radio in 1937 and moving to CBS television in 1952. And right here is a poster for the premiere of CSI. One time during the pandemic, I was taking a nap, and I had Hey Arnold on. I think it was a recorded episode of Hey Arnold that was recorded to my DVR, and like I slept for like a whole hour, and so I wake up and I was like, oh my god, I've been asleep that long, and the recording ended, meaning it went right back to what was on TV, which was CSI. My mom's like, what do you want for supper? I was like, let me think about it, I'm watching CSI. It was kind of interesting to watch. Anyway, iconic cars of the 2000s. Now, I can't drive. I know it's a little dumb because I'm nearly 24, but I can't drive. I don't have my license. And, but I've always been interested in types of cars. Mostly because of the Cars movies. Anyway, there's Dodge Viper, Ford Mustang, Audi TT, BMW M3, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen Golf, Ford Mustang. I do remember these, because, you know, like, family members would get cars, would get new cars, and it's like, oh, this is this kind of a car. To me, it was just a car, really. Alright. 2000s, Hitched and Ditched. So that's celebrities that were married or separate, and also separated. So there's Demi Moore and Bruce Willis, Vince Gill and Amy Grant. I'm not going to go through all of them. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, Lisa Marie Presley, who just passed on, and Nicolas Cage, Drew Barrymore and Tom Green, Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony, Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards, Pink and Carrie Hart, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, Jimmy Fallon, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Tom Brady and Giselle, Madonna and Guy Ritchie, Heather Locklear, David Hasselhoff. It's interesting. I mean, I don't really pay much attention to celebrity gossip. You know, like stars who, I think it's good for them, but still. Cost of living in the 2000s. So that's for like milk, gas, Harvard tuition, average rent, new home, and new car. I won't read it, but I'll show you. I'll back it up a little bit. Alright, and... Oh, okay. This is the end. Top baby names from every year of the 2000s. And they're pretty much all the same. Emily, Hannah, Jacob, Madison, Michael, Matthew, William, Joshua. Yeah, they're all kind of the same. But anyway, there we go. A look back on the 2000s. I hope you enjoyed looking back on the 2000s with me. Hopefully it brought back a lot of nice memories for you. It definitely did for me. Let me know some of your favorite 2000s memories, whether I mention it in here or not. If anything nostalgic, you know, because that's what this is all about. It's about nostalgia. So I will see you later and have a good weekend. Peace.